Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another grammar lesson, this time about the present perfect simple and continuous. As an introduction for this lesson, I'd like you first to study some examples and find out the difference between the two tenses. Example 1. Nabil has painted the house this morning. Example number 2. Nabil has been painting the house for 3 days. If we compare the two sentences, we can easily notice the difference in form as well as in meaning. As for sentence number 1, the verb is the present perfect simple consisting of the auxiliary has plus past participle of the main verb paint. Please check the previous lesson for more details. This tense tells us that the action of painting finished now and there is no more work to be done. However, the second example has got a different form, has been plus verb ing, which suggests that the action of painting started in the past but still unfinished now. Here is another example for better understanding. If we want to emphasize the duration of an action and point out that it's still happening now instead of saying it started raining 2 hours ago and it's still raining now, it is better to say it in this way in one single sentence. It has been raining for 2 hours. As for the structure and the rule of the present perfect continuous is quite simple. The affirmative form consists of has been or have been depending on the subject followed by a verb ing. As you can see, you don't have to worry about the type of the main verb, as the rule of regular and irregular verbs only applies to the present perfect simple. As for the negative form, it is just as simple. You only need to add the word not after the auxiliary has and have. Here we get hasn't been or haven't been plus verb ing. Using adverbs like for and since gives us more details about how long or the duration of an action. Let's dive into these examples and study this in more details. To emphasize that an action started in the past and still true now, we can say, I have been living in Oman for 8 years. As you can see, the word for highlights the period that has passed up to this moment, which means again that living in Oman is an unfinished action. The same sentence can be expressed using since, without any difference in meaning. Here is the example. I have been living in Oman since 2013. The word since here means the start of the period, which is 2013. Let's have a look at this example, which is related to working as a teacher. She has been teaching English since 2007. Here we know the year when the action of teaching started. If we want to know exactly how long has passed till this moment, we simply should add up the number of years from 2007 to 2021. Therefore, the sentence with for would be, she has been teaching English for 15 years. One more example. Ahmed has been studying at university since 2016. With the adverb for, we do the same. Add up the number of years between 2016 to 2021. And here we get, Ahmed has been studying at university for 5 years. Whether we use the present perfect continuous or present perfect simple, the meaning is the same, only with certain verbs such as live, work, teach, and study. Therefore, we can also use the present perfect simple with the previous examples without any real difference. So if we say, I have lived instead of have been living, or she has taught instead of she has been teaching, Ahmed has studied instead of he has been studying, the actions are also ones that started in the past and still true now. With permanent states, however, we can only use the present perfect simple. I'd like you to have a look at this example. They knew each other 10 years ago when they were at university. They are married and have children now. How can we describe this permanent state? Is it possible to say they have been knowing each other for 10 years? Of course not, as this is about a permanent state and not about a physical action. So it is correct to say they have known each other since they were at university, or they have known each other for 10 years. The same applies to other stative verbs like verb to be. This example is about a state of illness. In this case, verb to be can only be used in the present perfect simple, so we can only say, Katie has been in hospital since last night. Using the present perfect simple is also commonly used to talk about how much and how many. Let's check this example. Randall has smoked 2 packets today. With the present perfect simple, the focus is on the number of packets Randall finished. However, if we say, Randall has been smoking for years, here we emphasize the duration or the period of smoking, which is an action that has been repeated over many years till now. Here, of course, we simply mean Randall smoked many years ago and he's still smoking. In the same way, we can say, Sonia has read 7 books this year. This simply means that she finished reading 7 books. But saying, Sonia has been reading books, this of course means she read books before and she's still reading books. The present perfect continuous can be used with actions that started in the past and have evidence now. Example 1. We can clearly see how John is out of breath and he's too tired. That's the evidence. Why? Simply because he has been running. Let's check another example. Starting with the evidence, Thamer looks fit and strong. Why? Simply, he has been going to the gym and exercising recently. Let's finish up with another example. Daniel looks overweight. Certainly because he has been eating much junk food and hasn't been exercising. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We've come to the end of this lesson, which I hope has been to your liking. Make the most of it. Thanks a lot for your attention. I'll be back with another lesson.